Hi, my name's Stan and I work for Contendo Solutions. We develop online tools to make companies, municipalities, and all organizations from Fortune 500 to villages to small businesses just trying to get up and going and become more competitive. We help them develop solutions that make them stronger. One of the things that we're most proud of is how we develop training solutions for online use. So when we got to thinking about what we could do for our online content strategy and to help people around, so making content that's actually worthwhile. So we decided that we were going to start making training videos that allowed people to, pick up some more everyday skills. We're not always installing a hot boiler feed water pump. We're not always running a vessel that carries, bitumen from one site to another. We're not always, teaching people how to work at a power plant. Sometimes, you need some basic skills. And since we have offices in Calgary and Northern New Brunswick, and since we're here in Northern New Brunswick today, we thought that we'd teach you how to prepare a proper maritime lobster. So your first step when you want to cook a proper maritime lobster is to get yourself to a proper fish mart. In Northern New Brunswick, that can be McLean's or right here at Arsenault's Fish Market. Now we're cooking for about 14 people today, so in that scenario, being that lobster is not exactly a fragrant friendly thing, you're going to need a cooler. So Jason, we're at Arsenault's Fish Market. How long has the Arsenault's Fish Market been around?
At least 50 years plus.
50 years plus?
Yeah, it's been a long time we've been running.
All right. And we're here in Nigadoo. How much lobster do you sell in the course of a year?
That is a really hard question, honestly. 50,000 plus, maybe more. We sell a lot of lobsters.
That's great. So there is a right and a wrong way to prepare them though, right?
Well, there's multiple ways to cook a lobster.
Yeah.
You can steam them, you can boil them. But the proper way to do it would be to boil them.
Yeah.
For us, that's probably the best way to do it.
Okay, sounds good. So I'm having the in-laws over for dinner tonight. There's about 15 of us. How many lobster do I need? And I believe there's a school of thought between the bigger ones are clearly older, but there's people who prefer the flavor of the younger ones. What's kind of that?
Well, basically it's the same thing as anything else. The younger it is or the smaller it is, it's going to be more tastier than the bigger ones. I mean, for as far as canners are, the meat is a lot more tender than if you buy a big lobster. Depending on the people, some people are the way they cook it. I don't know how to do it, but sometimes it is. The bigger ones are tender also, but they're stronger tasting.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So if I want, so it's first-time lobster triers, and so I've been told about 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds per person is a general.
1.5 to 2 pound, one lobster per person is generally a nice sized lobster.
Okay.
Served with some other products.
Some sides.
If you're looking at canners, I would say more maybe like 2 to 3 canners.
Okay.
1.5 to 2, I would say one lobster would be good for one person.
Okay. So I guess we'll get those together. Aside from that, so once I go home and cook them, I need a big pot, water. How much salt?
Usually it's 1 cup of salt per gallon of water.
Okay.
Depending if high pressure or low pressure, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could put 3/4 of a cup of salt per gallon to 1 cup of salt.
Okay.
You boil that, and once it's boiled, you chuck your lobster in the water. Then you wait till it boils again. And for 1.5 to 2 pound lobster, I would suggest you cook it at least 25 minutes.
Okay. And the big difference, because I know most stores offer it and people don't necessarily know what the difference between. So what's the value of getting a live lobster versus buying one that's already cooked?
The experience.
The experience?
The experience of cooking it yourself.
Yeah. That's pretty much it though, right?
And it's a bit time consuming when you're cooking your own lobster because you got to wait till the water boils. But I mean, if you have a case of beer or some people over, or a glass of wine or whatever, just chit chat and talk and fun times.
All right, that's fantastic. Well, I guess let's get some lobster up then.
All right.
So these guys, if you're buying a live lobster, you got to cook them within how long?
Well, usually a couple hours after is the best way to do it. but you can keep a live lobster in cold with something wet on top of them.
Okay.
Sometimes up to 36 to 48 hours. You can keep them alive out of the water.
Okay.
But I suggest cooking it within the next couple of hours,
Okay.
especially if it's warm outside.
Yeah, so if I'm buying them to cook them, it's 10 o'clock right now. I'm gonna throw something over them, start cooking them around 4. Is that good?
That's gonna be good. Just
All right.
keep them cold and wet towel on top. A1.
All right.
They're gonna survive.
Well, Jason, thank you very much.
Hey, no, thank you, man.
So here we are a few hours later, and we are almost ready to put the lobsters in the pot. All right, so we got the water up to a boil. We got 3 gallons of water, 3 cups of salt. Pour in the salt, stir it up until it comes back up to a boil, and that's when we start dumping in the lobster. All right. So at this point, we are cutting off the elastics of the lobster. It's very important that you don't want to put your hand underneath the tail because that can snap up. You want to hold it by the body as close to the eyes as you can because he can't get back there and snap it. So you want to take some scissors, slip it underneath the thing once you can. Of course, it's not going to go smoothly when I want it to. There we go. Alright, lobster consists of a few parts that are worth eating. I don't like the body, some people do. My mom will eat your bodies on the other side.
Hang on to your body.
Yeah.
The tamale.
So, you have the claws, right? So it's really you can see how the joints work, you're working against the joints. Alright, so you get it off and you can break the knuckles. You're just going to open these guys up like this. You're going to use your scooping tools to get the meat out and break off the ends. Pretty simple, same thing, both claws. Tail, right? You got here. Twist and pull. Right?
Jackpot, you got a female.
Yeah.
Oh, we got the eggs?
How does she know that?
What?
How does she know that?
We got
Inside.
eggs side.
Oh, that's just rolling it.
Yeah. So anyway, Mallory doesn't enjoy it. Yeah, they're supposed to put those. So you just kind of collapse it in on itself like this, so you don't have to do the knife, and then you're able to split it apart and take the meat out. Yeah. So that's
Or
it.
you can.
I mean, I can do it. It's just that
Pull it open more top and push it.
And then you're able to take the meat out.
Stretch it open and then crack it.
That's it.
I don't think I got it cracked.
There we go. What about the claw?
God's hands.
I've already done the claws.
You already done the claw?
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
how to get to the claw hand?
And then you stretch it out.
You mean the knuckles or
Yeah, or to get to the actual claw meat, because you got to break the claw open.
Yeah, so that's when you're gonna want one of those nut crackers.
Whoa!
Nice.
There you go.
Splash the camera.
3D.
Oh, there you go.
So that's when you're gonna want to do one of these. Break it right in the middle. That way you can break it apart.
They're coming behind you. You pull it out.
So you want to use that to break the claw, and then you can scoop the meat out. They're by either end.
Nice. Sorry. That was me.
Can we put the shell?
Alright.
And the shells go in the bucket. That's it, man.